Accelerating sustainability transitions requires imagination and creativity to concretize desirable future narratives. For this purpose, Hellon designed the Sustainable Futures game that connects societal sustainability goals with everyday organizational contexts to help build organizations' capabilities for imagining alternative futures and plan their actions towards them. Especially in the context of environmental crisis, it seems like when we try to think about the future, we approach it either through dystopian narratives or through utopian dream worlds, which both represent rather abstract views on the future. On one hand, dystopias embody the discouraging and horrific futures that we want to avoid. On the other hand, utopias represent the far-reaching dream worlds that we might not be able to reach. It seems more difficult for us to imagine the futures between the utopian and dystopian worlds, the desirable futures that are possible to reach, but still radically different from the status quo, which has turned out to be quite a disruptive one. The Hellon design team developed the design game through a participatory process during 2020 and 2021. The development of the Sustainable Futures game started from the need to help us collectively imagine desirable futures and potential pathways towards them. The purpose of the game is to help players co-imagine a desirable future state of a commonly decided city in 2030 through fictional storytelling and design prompts, and thereafter backcast ways to tackle critical challenges to reach co-narrated future. The initial intention was to develop a physical board game. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and its consequences, a digital version was developed besides the physical board game. The game session starts with an introductory presentation by the facilitators to prepare the participants for the right mindset and introduce key terms and concepts of the game. In the first part, the players collectively write a fictional story which depicts a desirable near-future state of 2030 for a selected city. The fictional story evolves through several collective tasks, including, for instance, visual probes, probing questions, and questions related to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The main objective of this part is to facilitate a dialogue on desirable futures and collectively imagine a fictional story that integrates multifaceted characteristics of this future narrative, such as personal desires, societal norms, or political structures. In the second part, the players identify critical challenges and barriers that restrict their co-narrated desirable futures from materializing. Finally, the game session results in concrete, action-oriented suggestions on what type of activities should be implemented today to overcome the identified barriers and move towards the co-imagined future. As the story is co-narrated, the outcome of each game session varies depending on the participants' interests and aspirations. After the game session, the players reflect on their experiences of playing the game with guided questions. This self-reflection helps the players formulate their key takeaways from the game session and provides valuable feedback for further developing the game. Design games provide a deliberate way of imagining alternative futures due to play qualities such as the tangible game materials, rules, and structure that create a play spirit for the players. This play spirit, the so-called magic circle, helps the players step away from their positions and creates a foundation for mutual learning. The Sustainable Futures game has shown the potential to support a more holistic understanding of the interdependencies between different sustainability goals. Furthermore, it has helped the participants to better understand the long-term consequences of today's actions and facilitate a discussion around desirable futures that go beyond the status quo. Hellon plans to continue organizing new game-playing sessions in the future and iterating the game approach further to steer our actions towards desirable futures.